The weather has deteriorated significantly on Brisbane's Bayside and southeastern parts of Queensland, where the southern tail of the tropical low is hammering the coastline. Harry Clarke is at Cleveland for us this evening. Harry, conditions not looking great where you are at the moment. Tell us, how's it been down there?
Absolutely not. Well, these are certainly the most intense cyclonic conditions that we've experienced all week. I regret ever doubting Tropical Cyclone Alfred. He took a long time to arrive. We started to think, is this the worst of it? The rain would start to come in, the wind would pick up, and then it would die off again, and you think that's kind of the end of it. Maybe it's a bit of a fizzer. That's not the case. As we go to air right now, this tropical low system, which it has become, is now hammering the Bayside suburbs of Brisbane. I'm at the suburb of Cleveland right now. I'm at the landmark, the iconic landmark, a very eastern point on the Bayside suburbs, which is the Cleveland Lighthouse Lookout, and the swell is absolutely coming in very, very heavily. If we pan a little bit out onto the coastline here, that's usually dead calm. We're protected here by the Moreton Bay Islands. Coochie-Mudlow is just a couple of k's off the coast. Then you've got Moreton Island, so you really don't get these kinds of swells in Moreton Bay. You might see some whitecaps on a particularly windy day. Not today. Whitecaps are everywhere. You can just about surf some of these waves coming in through the middle of Moreton Bay, and the wind is particularly intense. We've seen some heavy winds down the Gold Coast knocking over trees. We've seen the swell coming in and chewing up the erosion on the beach, chewing away those beaches. I don't think we've seen pictures yet of whipping intense rain crashing down while the high tide sword surge is coming in, and the swell is coming in very heavily as well. There's a lot of rain coming down here at the moment. There's a lot more expected over the next 12 to 24 hours, 36 hours, and all of this storm activity is heading further east. So Brisbane should brace itself, because if it's anything like this over the coming hours and into this evening, then there is going to be some damage, I can assure you, to homes in the huge metropolis of Brisbane. The cyclone's currently crossing just north of us here, a couple of 100 k's, perhaps about 100 k's north of Bribie Island, and we're in the southern fringe, the southern flank of this tropical low system. So this is where it's most intense, and it's tracking to the north. It's going to come through to the northern suburbs of Brisbane, and that's where the eye of the storm's coming, and the southern flank is going to sweep right across the main metropolis of Brisbane. So if this is any sign of what to look out for, then people should really be prepared to bunker down for what's going to be a pretty wild and windy night in the southeast capital of Queensland.
Yeah, absolutely. Judging by those conditions where you are in Cleveland there at the moment, Harry, the advice, stay indoors, stay off the roads and well away from those beaches. Thank you so much, Harry, for your time this afternoon.